I thought I had time. Not in a dramatic way, not like I was careless or reckless. I just assumed time would wait. I believed tomorrow was guaranteed, that next year would come, that someday would always be there, patiently waiting for me to be ready. No one told me that time doesn't warn you when it's about to change everything. When I was younger, life felt wide. Not easy, just wide. There were so many doors, so many possible versions of me. I didn't rush. Why would I? Everyone said the same thing. You're still young. You have plenty of time. You'll figure it out. So I believed them. I delayed the things that scared me. I postponed the things that mattered. I stayed comfortable longer than I should have because I thought I had time. I thought I had time to call my parents more often. There was always work, always something unfinished, always a better moment that never really came. I'll call them this weekend. I'll visit when things slow down. I'll make it up later. Later became quieter. Their voices aged before I noticed. Conversations got shorter. Silences got longer. And one day I realized I knew less about their lives than I thought. Not because I didn't care, but because I assumed there would always be another chance. I thought I had time to chase my dreams. I didn't abandon them. I just placed them somewhere safe, on a shelf in my mind. I'll do it when I'm more confident, when I have more money, when life feels more stable. So I chose the practical path, the safe job, the predictable routine. It wasn't terrible, it just wasn't me. Years passed quietly, and one day I looked at that shelf and realized the dream hadn't moved, but I had. I thought I had time to fix relationships. When arguments happened, I stayed silent. When distance grew, I told myself it was normal. People drift apart, right? I assumed we would reconnect someday, have a long talk, laugh about how silly it all was. But some people don't come back, not because of one big fight, but because of many small moments that were ignored. Unspoken words pile up, distance becomes permanent, and suddenly the person you once shared everything with becomes someone you barely know. I thought I had time to take care of myself. I ignored the tiredness, the constant heaviness, the quiet signs my body kept sending. I'll rest after this project. I'll slow down next month. I just need to push a little longer, but exhaustion doesn't disappear when you ignore it. It waits. And one day it asks to be paid with interest. Adulthood doesn't arrive loudly. It doesn't announce itself. It happens in small moments. When weekends feel too short. When birthdays stop being exciting. When conversations revolve around responsibilities instead of dreams. You don't notice the shift immediately until one day you realize you've been living on autopilot, doing what needs to be done, forgetting why you started. I thought I had time to become someone, but slowly I became someone else, someone more careful, more quiet, less curious, not unhappy, just dulled. The world didn't break me, it slowly shaped me, and I let it. There's a strange kind of grief that comes with realizing this. Not the grief of losing something suddenly, but the grief of losing it slowly, of watching possibilities fade one by one, of seeing doors close not because they were slammed, but because they were never opened. Time doesn't steal from you violently, it takes gently, one ordinary day at a time. You don't notice the loss until you stop and look back. And when you do, the distance feels unbearable. I thought I had time to say the important things. I appreciate you. I'm proud of you. I'm sorry. I miss you. Those words stayed in my chest. I assumed people knew how I felt, that actions were enough. But people leave with questions unanswered, and silence can be heavier than words. One of the hardest lessons adulthood teaches you is this: life doesn't wait for clarity. You don't suddenly wake up ready. Fear doesn't disappear. Uncertainty doesn't politely step aside. You move forward with doubt, or you stay still and watch time move without you. I used to believe there would be a clear moment, a sign, a feeling of certainty that said, now, this is the right time. It never came, because time doesn't work that way. What they don't tell you is this: waiting feels safe, but it's expensive. Every year you wait, you trade potential for comfort, and comfort is quiet, which is why it's dangerous. I don't regret every choice I made. Some kept me alive. Some taught me resilience. But I regret assuming I had unlimited time to become myself. One day, you look in the mirror and realize you are not who you planned to be, but you are exactly who your habits created. And that realization stays with you. It lingers. I thought I had time, but time was moving, even when I wasn't. Time is not loud. It doesn't rush you. It doesn't threaten you. It simply keeps going. The lesson is not to panic, not to quit everything overnight, but to understand this: the things that matter rarely feel urgent until it's too late. Say what needs to be said. Start before you feel ready. Choose growth over comfort more often than you think you should, not because life is short, but because time is quiet, and quiet things are easy to ignore. If this story stayed with you, if something in it felt familiar, you're not alone, and it's not too late to begin again, just earlier than tomorrow. If you want more stories like this, stories that don't rush you, but stay with you a little longer, you're welcome to stay here. This is Linger.